Alrighty. So at this point in time, we've just barely put, we've finished up the set process, and the prospect is now working on these three things that the setter has asked them to do. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna jump right into the close and the close script and the psychology behind that. Now, something you guys are gonna see is that the close script and the set script, they're really not incredibly different. There's really a lot of similarities between the two, and the reason behind that is that there's a lot of reinforcement that we actually do. We want to reinforce the things that are expected of them, and then take some time and explain to them exactly what it is that we're going to be doing for the actual prospect. And so we're going to jump right into the close script, and we'll kind of role play this a little bit, just the same as we've done with the set script. But so as the closer, I'm going to get on the phone and I'm going to go, "Hello, is Troy there?"
This is Troy.
Hi, Troy. This is Robert Summers. I'm calling with Russell Brunson's office. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fabulous. How are you, man?
Great. I understand that you've been speaking with my assistant, Kimberly, and Kimberly tells me that right now you're very serious and motivated to learn how to become a better internet marketer and to make money online. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay. Tell me, Troy, why are you so serious about making money online right now? No, stop just a minute. If you guys notice, okay, this portion right here, it's almost the exact same thing as the introduction in the set script. And we want the exact same process to happen here with this part of the close script. We want the exact same thing to be happening where, once again, I pull out the emotion, I pull out the hot buttons. I want to hear that. I want to hear the prospects say it, but more importantly, I want the prospects saying it out loud to emphasize that in their own heads. So they hear it, they say it, they speak it, they're looking at the goals, the things that they've written down. This process, this is basically our introduction that we're going through right here. So Troy, why are you so serious about internet marketing right now?
You know, I'm looking forward to traveling with my family. Got this pretty hot RV I'm looking at picking up, and just getting some time to travel and see the country.
Kimberly was telling me you want some stickers on the back of that RV, is that right?
Lots of stickers.
Lots of stickers on the back of the RV, every national park, right?
That's right.
Okay, excellent. Now, Troy, how long have you been thinking about making money online?
Long time.
Give me a so for 5 years?
Yeah.
Okay. What would you say has been the biggest thing that's held you back from making money?
Just time, mostly.
How do you mean?
Well, just trying to figure everything out. You know, it takes a lot more than I thought.
Okay. It didn't just wait when you got online, you started looking, it didn't just magically happen?
Didn't just magically happen.
Okay.
So sad.
I understand that. Now, let me ask, I know that Kimberly had asked you to write a few things down for me. Did you finish up with that assignment?
I did.
Okay, great. Let's go ahead and go through it right now. Troy, what did you write down for a 6-month financial goal? What kind of money are you looking to make in the next 6 months?
You know, just keeping it realistic, I think that, $2,000 to $3,000 a month in 6 months would be exciting for me.
Okay, so at the end of the 6-month period, be the point where you're making a couple of grand a month.
Yeah.
Okay, what would that do for you?
Oh, it would free some things up, give me some more money to reinvest back into my business and actually take it to that next level where it's actually cash flowing where I want it to, can be a game changer for me.
Okay, so really in 6 months then you want it to be the point where you see some progress.
Correct.
You're seeing some money coming in, you're a little bit, you're happy, you're making some money, things are going in the right direction. And that's the first thing. What about 12 months down the road? Where do you want to be in the next year? Gosh, by December 2014, what do you want to have happening? What's your life look like?
I want to get to that place where I'm close to replacing my income, and 5, 6 to even 10,000 a month would be great. But around 6,000 would be a doable number for me. Make me excited.
Okay, so $6,000 a month would replace your income.
Close.
And you'd like to do that. That's really within the next 12 months, really where you'd like to be.
That's right.
Okay. If you didn't have to be at work 40 hours a week, I see Kimberly, it says here you work construction. If you didn't have to be working construction 40 hours a week, what would you do with all your free time?
I would do...
No, stop just here. What I want Troy to do is I want him to visualize, I want him to say, I want him to feel, I want him to picture it. If Troy wants to go to the beach, I want to understand how the sand feels between his toes. I want to see what that looks like. I want Troy to say what it looks like, what it feels like, so that he gets that emotion, so it's pulled out of him. because we've just been off the phone for 5-10 minutes, and Kimberly had him excited. Okay, the setter had him excited, and they've had a little bit of time to lose a little bit of enthusiasm. I want that enthusiasm to shoot back up through the roof. I want him to paint a picture for me. Okay, so Troy, if you're making $6-7 grand a month and you didn't have to be, working construction out in December, 2014, what would you do with all your free time? What would that look like?
Yeah, I would take longer runs. Get up in the morning and make some breakfast. Little bit. Then I'd go stretch, exercise, go for a long run, listen to something cool on my headset, a good podcast. I'd come back and I'd go through some emails, just connect with some folks on the social platforms, connect with people. And then I would think, and I'd do some reading. I like to read. So I'd read and think and then plan my day and about noon. And then start going through that list of things to do. Then hopefully be done by the time my kids are out of school, and then go hang out with them, go to practices and be present for them with that.
What sports do your kids play, Troy?
I've got a cheerleader.
Ooh, fun.
Got a baseball, and I've got a soccer player.
So being able to spend the time with them at practice and actually going to the practices and helping them out, that's something you'd like to be doing?
It's a big deal. And not have my phone pressed against my head like it used to be in the old days.
Awesome. So that you could actually be present.
Correct.
Okay. So it sounds like those are some things that are pretty important to you.
Pretty important.
To be able to get to that point. Okay. Let's do this. And it sounds like to me, basically what you're describing is you're describing financial independence, financial freedom to me. And obviously I hope that once you get to the point where you replace your current income, you don't want to just stop. But let's go even further down the road, 5 years. And let's say that point of financial independence, financial freedom is something that you've achieved. How would you describe your lifestyle?
Just expanded on what I just described. I like to read and associate with cool, smart people to learn, and I like to give back. I like to take this information and actually share it with people, that I love. My community, people who are looking, just free them up so they can find their passions, go live their passions. That really fires me up.
Get to the point where you're able to take care of everything that you want to for yourself and your family, and then give back to other people.
Exactly.
Help out more people.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that with us. Well, Troy, those are some awesome goals, and they're very obtainable. I do want you to understand, though, that obviously, and I feel that you know this, that financial independence, it doesn't happen overnight. It's going to take hard work, dedication, but with the right approach and help from our experts, it's something that will happen. Now, let me ask you this. And I know that Kimberly kind of talked with you about this a little bit, but if you had the chance to work with somebody like Russell Brunson, somebody who knows the ins and outs of internet marketing, and they could take you by the hand and walk you step by step through that process, how would that make a difference to you and your success?
Oh, huge.
In what ways?
Oh, it just would happen faster. Like I told Kimberly, our kids grow up so fast. It's like you miss so much. You got to go make a buck, away from your family. So, I don't want to spend any more time learning this and getting profitable as necessary. So I just know that Russell, with his experience, his skill sets, he's at the cutting edge of what's happening now and best practices that, that'll compress the time frames. I'll get there a lot faster.
Anything else that you feel working with Russell Brunson to do for you?
Yeah, I think the cool thing about it is, just for me personally, I'm just a real visual learner, and having somebody actually hold my hand like a Russell Brunson instead of, pass down information or a DVD set or something like that, will make a big deal for me.
Yeah, Troy, gosh, I've seen a lot of DVDs and spent a lot of time reading, and they're great, but gosh, if we all become rich by going to the library or watching YouTube videos, we'd never leave the library. And I personally don't know any librarians that drive Ferraris, so there's definitely some value in actually having somebody walk you through that. It sounds like to me that you have the goals, you have the desires, you know what you want to accomplish, but you just you lack the knowledge about how to achieve them. Am I hearing you right?
Right on.
Okay. So once again, if if you could have Russell Brunson or an expert that could take you, teach you, and train you how to build and grow your business, do you see anything at all that would hold you back from achieving your goals of being successful and reaching those goals of 6 months, 1 year, and 5 years down the road if you had an expert?
No.
Okay. Now, if we stop right here, again, this probably sounds really similar to the introduction and the blast in the set. And you're absolutely right, it is. We want to make sure that it's all little yeses that we're going through the entire process. Because if I start out and I say, hi, my name's Robbie Summers, I work with Russell Brunson. The investment in order to work with us, it's $10,000. Do you want to get started? Now I've taken from hello to this huge big gap that I'm asking people to cover and to go through. But if I get my little yeses all the way along, that what it happens is it makes that gap get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until finally what was once a huge gap becomes just another little yes and another little step in the process. So they are very similar, but we want those little yeses to go throughout the entire process. So the next part is, now, Kimberly, did Troy explain to you what it is that I do here for Mr. Brunson? Did he explain that to you?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, let me just sum it up for you very quickly. I'm the senior director of our success team. And my job is to find the people that I feel are the most motivated and serious in creating financial independence through internet marketing. And most importantly, Kimberly, my job is to find the very best people for our program. Now, I know what it takes for somebody to be successful and why and how people make money in internet marketing. And I also know why people fail in internet marketing. So in our conversation today, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cover with you 4 commitments that I'm gonna ask you to make before I can actually extend an invitation to you to come aboard our team. And with these 4 commitments, I've gotta have a yes or a no answer. And the reason behind it is simply these are either things that you're willing to commit to or not. And these 4 areas, these are really the keys to your success. Does that sound fair? Is that something that you're willing to do?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Now, with our experience and my experience in internet marketing, we've found that the 4 areas that can either hold you back from achieving your goals or could be major stepping stones to financial independence are these 4 things. I'm gonna have you make commitments to me in each one of them. So if you'll write these down, number 1 is time. Number 2 is decision making. Number 3 is the resources or money that it takes to work with our experts. And the last thing that we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about the knowledge, okay, about what takes place, what happens here. So we're going to go through each one of these individually, but let's go ahead and let's start with time. And Kimberly, as you know, time is money. You've heard that before, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't know what you're doing with your time, then you're losing money. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Okay. So when working with a coach, we're going to ask you to commit at least 5 to 10 hours a week to build and grow your business for the next 12 months. Kimberly, is that something that you're willing to do? Yes or no?
Yes.
Great. Go ahead and cross that off your list. Now, a lot of people ask me why I go through this process, why I ask them to make them say yes or no, and why I'm so firm on that. The reason behind that is that people are looking, especially people that are this far in the process, they're looking for that expert. They're looking for a solution. They're looking for a place to plug their cord into. And that confidence of saying, I know and I understand what we have, from you I expect a yes or a no. That's what I want. It gives them that reassurance that yes, we know what we're doing. Yes, we are successful. Yes, we know how to build and grow the internet business. So every single commitment I ask, and if I get a, well, yeah, I stop. Hey, Kimberly, listen. Either it's yes or no. If you don't feel like you can put in that 5 to 10 hours a week, let me know right now. I don't want to go any further in the process. Okay, if I'm not getting the answers that I want, I don't move on. If I'm not getting that yes, then I need to backtrack or I need to get off the phone with that prospect because they're not a good prospect. I want to make sure that I get the answers that I'm looking for, okay? The next thing, Kimberly, that we're going to talk about is decision making. Now, Kimberly, do you realize why it would be so important to make a decision today to reach your goals?
No.
Okay. Why do you think it would be important to make a decision?
Well, just at least to make a commitment and get the ball rolling, I guess. But
In business, why do you think it would be important to make decisions?
to execute, to make it happen, I don't know.
Okay. And you're absolutely right. And you know, Kimberly, most people don't realize this and they don't understand it, but the most important principle in internet marketing, in business, okay, is simply that good deals, they don't wait around. That's something that happened, and it's especially true with the way that we teach you how to build and grow your business. One of my favorite quotes, it says that more money is lost in business every year because of indecision rather than bad decision. And if we sit around and we don't make decisions, we're wasting time. If I don't have decision makers aboard this team, we can't be successful. Since we teach our students how to build a successful business, we need people that we feel are good decision makers. So I need to know, Kimberly, that you can make good, solid decisions when you need to. Kimberly, do you see anything at all that would hold you back from making the decision to get started building your business and working with Russell Brunson today?
No.
Okay, go ahead and cross decision making off your list and let's move on. Now, Kimberly, in Kimberly's voice, in Kimberly's response, I don't know if you guys heard it on the video, it was a tad shaky, okay? As far as the no is a little bit no. And I don't know if you heard that come through on the video. It probably wouldn't hurt to come back with that response with Kimberly and say, now, Kimberly, it sounded like you were just a little unsure about making that decision. Okay, I mean, are you ready to start building and growing your business?
As long as it makes sense and I know the details of the program, yeah.
Okay. And Kimberly, if it doesn't make sense, I'm gonna be the first one to tell you to make a decision, and the decision should be no. Okay? But one way or another, I'm gonna expect you to make a decision. Whether that decision is yes or no, I'm fine with that. But are you in a point of position that you're ready to make a decision about building and growing your business?
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. I've got an absolutely here. We'll take that. Now, Troy, the third area that we're going to cover is the resources or money. And this is an area that's important to all of us. Troy, we all work very hard for our money, and in some cases, with less than adequate results. Have you ever been in that situation before?
Oh, of course.
Now, you mentioned you've been working on internet marketing for the last 5 years, and you haven't seen the results that you wanted yet, have you?
I have not.
Okay, so you've been working hard at it. The great thing about our program is that you're going to be working with an experienced internet marketer who has spent many hours with many people on many different types of businesses. And their experience is the safety net that we all dream about when going into business. Okay? Now, to work with one of our coaches, obviously it's going to take a commitment of capital. Two things got to happen in order to make this work. Number one, we don't want you to have to pull cash out of your pocket. We want you to use the concept of OPM, or other people's money. The second thing is the business has got to pay for itself in a short period of time. And if these two things don't happen, we can't really allow you to be a part of the program. Now, the only time that I wouldn't say this is that if I've got somebody that has got cash, that's not going to be using OPM, will actually be using their money, okay, and isn't using a credit card. If somebody has credit, I want them to utilize that business concept of the bank's money. I want them to utilize that concept of other people's money, okay? Now, let's go ahead and let's talk about these 2 points. When we talk about OPM, or other people's money, are you familiar with that concept?
I am.
Okay. Have you ever used somebody else's money to make you money in the past?
I have.
What have you done?
We did a little real estate deal once.
Tell me about it.
We just found a good deal.
Stop. Troy, why would I want you to tell me about your real estate deal that you used somebody else's money with?
I was convinced myself that it's cool to use it again.
Gosh, I don't have to tell you how good real estate, I don't have to tell you how good OPM is if you tell me how good OPM is, do I? Do you? Okay. Once again, we go back to, if I say it, it could be a lie. If you say it, it's the truth. Okay. If I say it, it could be a lie, but you're convincing me why OPM is such a good deal. You're selling me on the concept of why OPM is such a good deal. So Troy, tell me about that. Tell me about that process.
I just found a property, and it was a great deal. Had tons of equity in it. The person wanted out really fast, so there's a lot of profit there. So didn't have any of my own money, but I've got a good friend who has got plenty and has no clue where to invest it, and so was getting like 2-3% per year. And so we put them on the note of the property. So it's their property if by chance it doesn't sell. We used that money to lock down the property, fix it up, sold it, made a profit. They made money, so it was a good deal.
So everybody won. You used your friend's money, and that worked just fine, didn't it?
Just fine.
Okay, and what a great example, Troy. And the example that we're talking about, using OPM or other people's money, it's obviously it's not rocket science. It simply means using, in your case, you use your friend's money, okay, or you can use the bank's money that they have already loaned to you on a credit card. Now, Troy, have you ever used your credit cards to actually make you money in the past?
No, I use them to spend a lot of money.
Spend a lot of money? Okay. And Troy, I don't feel bad about this, but the majority of Americans have never done that either. Most Americans use their cards to create debt, bad debt that can never pay for itself. And when I talk about using OPM, I'm not talking about that kind of debt. We want you to use your credit card as a short-term leveraging tool to build your business. Now, this does a couple of things, but it buys us time. Time to get up and running in your business so the business can pay itself off. Now, Troy, is using your credit card to build your business, is that a strategy that you're willing to use as long as the business can pay for itself?
Sure.
Okay. Now, I understand that Kimberly discussed with you that people in our program invest at different levels. And it looks like you picked the bottom level to invest, is that right?
That's right.
Okay. Why did you choose that level?
Well, I just figure, until I know where we're headed, that this will get me started. And once it makes sense and we're turning a profit, I can go to another level.
Awesome. And Troy, right now with the situation with where you're at, I wouldn't let you invest anywhere other than the bottom level right now. That's where you need to be. And maybe later on down the road, like you said, that we might look at something else, but this is the perfect place for you. I want you to write this figure down, okay? I want you to write down $7,995. Now, Troy, as long as it makes sense to you and you can see the value, and you see this meeting all of your goals, is there anything at all that would hold you back from getting started and placing that commitment of $7,995 on a credit card today?
No, let's do it.
Okay. Go ahead and cross resources off your list. Is that how it happens every time, Troy?
No.
Troy, how else does it happen there? Because this right here, hey, this is where, and I'm not asking you to pull a credit card out right here, but this is where the rubber meets the road, right here. They understand that, hey, I'm going to have a sizable investment here.
So what I find is once we've done, and for me, I've done it really poorly, and I've done it pretty well just by doing like your coaching, and doing it the way you're coaching, it's 8 out of 10 times people are like, let's go. It's those, obviously I focus on the two that don't, and it's always about how I've set it up in the beginning, always.
And Troy, and we talked about this with the set script. If you set up the beginning of this, you set your introduction up, you set your blast up, you get them to say Russell Brunson is the next best thing to sliced bread. You get them to say those things that all of a sudden this $8,000 ticket down here, this $25,000 ticket, this $5,000 ticket, it's not that big of a deal anymore. It takes that away.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's all about setting things up initially in the beginning, and if you do it right, that's why the process that we go through is so critical. Because if you skip any of those steps, you're going to run into, wow, that's a lot of money. I'm not going to do that right now, and that's because I haven't built the value enough in the beginning. I haven't tied that value into working with an expert. I haven't done that, and so if I tie all that in together, okay, that all of a sudden that $8,000 ticket, yeah, of course I'm going to do that, because that's going to get me that RV. That's going to get me out of my construction job. I'm tired of being a nurse. I work 60 hours a week and I'm overworked and I'm underpaid and whatever it is. That $8,000 gets me out of that. That gets me my retirement. That gets me my kids' college education. That gets me my boat. That gets me my son's, the ability for me to homeschool my son. Whatever it is, it gives us the ability to do that. So it always, always, always goes back to building the value in the beginning. If I've set that up right, coming to this point becomes very, very easy, okay? So the next part, the next thing we're gonna talk about is we're actually gonna talk about some nuts and bolts here of what actually happens, what actually takes place working with Russell Brunson and his coaches, okay? And so really, when we get to the knowledge, hey, Kimberly, we're gonna be on the phone here for a little bit of time, and there is no way that I can teach you everything that you need to know in one conversation to generate that $5,000 a month that you wanna generate, okay? My main concern is I'm working with someone who is open-minded, teachable, and willing to do what it takes to create success. Do you feel like you're that type of a person?
Yes.
How come?
Well, because I'm hungry and I'm at wit's end and I really don't have a choice. And I realize that without a coach, without Russell, I'm not going to get there. And I have to.
Kimberly, when you say you don't have a choice, I mean, what's going to happen if you don't do this? What's the alternative?
I won't succeed online and I'll have to continue working and I don't have a retirement set up. My son will go to a public school. Oh, it'd be disastrous.
So the difference for you between having a coach and being, the difference for you between success and not having success is having that coach.
Yeah.
Is that you feel that you're motivated, you're open-minded enough, and you're teachable that if somebody could show you what you need to be doing, you'd be successful.
Right.
Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to give you all the knowledge you'll need so mistakes are avoided. You'll be working with mentors at your own pace. So one of the most important things is to make sure that we communicate effectively with your coach, okay? If you need to go slower or you need to go faster, it's entirely up to you. Now let's go ahead and let's talk about some of the major points we're going to be working on with you. Now, I'm going to stop right here for just a minute because as we work on your products, okay, and as we put together your scripts, this is one part where we're going to need a rundown on exactly what it is that you do within your business, okay? And so this is something that we're gonna need a little bit of an outline of what takes place, what happens in your business, and I'm gonna show you an example of what we put together for one of Russell's businesses. This is a few years ago, and we're gonna go through this part pretty quickly because this part is going to be a little bit different for everybody, but basically what you want to do is we just need a quick outline as far as the things that we're actually going to be doing with the coaching. So with this particular business, one of the first things that we're going to do is we're going to lay the foundation. You're going to learn the basic business model, product funnel, so that you know what you're going to be building. You're going to choose a niche. We're going to include a questionnaire on your interests, your hobbies, and we're going to help you to start thinking about what niche you're passionate about and interested in. We're going to help you to research your niche, conduct market research, search groups and forums, use keyword suggestion tool on SEO, competition research on Amazon, competition research for organic and paid listings on Google.com. With this particular lead, we helped them to create a product, decide what kind of product they wanted to create, include a checklist. We wrote their sales copy for a sales letter, squeeze page, and what types of things and how to help them to write effective copy. We put together and prepared a site for them, created it, and then drove traffic to their site. So for each individual, for each individual person that we work with, this part is going to be a little bit different in everybody's arena. Okay, and we'll work with you as we put together your actual script with this one section in the knowledge, just a basic outline of what takes place within your particular business. So after I go through that, okay, and I explain to them and I give them a little bit of a rundown, an outline, what we've done is I've got 6 months worth of coaching in a couple of PowerPoint slides. So it's something that's very basic, just an overall outline of what you're going to be, of what we're going to be doing, of how your product works, how your business works, what your book does, how your speaking is going to help them, whatever it is. And I get to this point now, okay, and I say, so Troy, working in that type of a situation with a coach, looking over your shoulder, teaching and training you. Yeah, you're the guy out there that's out there that's doing the work. Do you see yourself working successfully in that type of a situation?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, why?
Just knowing what to do next, and I'll do the work if I know what to do. So help me out this first time, and then I'll own it.
Okay, Troy. Here's probably the most important question I'm going to ask you throughout this entire process that Kimberly had gone through and that we've gone through. But Troy, tell me, why do you feel that you're a good candidate to come aboard our team and start working with us?
I know what it takes to get stuff done. Just the persistence. Once I know how to do this, it's just a done deal. So you guys want your testimonials. You need to work with people who will get the work done, right? So, yeah, that's it. I'm a hard worker. Focused.
Well, okay, so if we stop right there for just a minute, Troy has just explained to me why he's going to be successful, how things are going to work out. Once again, Troy's selling me on why he needs to give me his money. Instead of me saying, please, 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 give me your money, please, 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 I need this, Troy's saying, no, I want to give you my credit card number. No, I want to give you my money. No, I want your help. Okay? Sales become easy when they're telling you why they need your help. So, Troy, I'm going to be the first one working with you. And what we need to do now is we just need to collect a little bit of information. First of all, we're going to be shipping you some materials that'll help you work more effectively with your coach. We're going to be sending them UPS or FedEx. So what's your physical shipping address?
10280 West Houston.
Okay. And what's the best phone number for your coach to contact you on?
555.
444. That's 4 fours.
445.
444. Okay. And your email address is?
TroyOld@gmail.com.
Okay. And Troy, like I mentioned before, the total commitment, it's $7,995. Did you want to put that on one card, or do we want to split that up between the Chase and the Capital One?
I think I got room on just the Chase card.
Just put with the interest rate that you got on the Chase card, that's kind of what I was going to recommend to you. How does your name appear on that card?
Just first and last.
Okay, no middle initial there? Okay. So Troy Olds, OLDS, right?
That's right.
Okay. And at that point, obviously, I'm going through it. How's your name appear? I go at that point, I'll ask, what's the expiration date on that card? Make up an expiration date.
5/16.
Okay, 0516. And if you'll read me that card number 4 digits at a time, I'll read them back to you to make sure that we've got the right card number there. Go ahead. It's a Visa, so it should start with a 4.
4444.
Okay. At that point, okay, what I do is, obviously the sale is pretty well done, okay? The last thing that I'm going to do is we're going to put them into what we call our compliance script. And this is just something that re-verifies with the prospect what we've talked about, what's going to happen, what's going to take place. And the secretary will read this. This isn't something the salespeople will read, but they're gonna verify the credit card information, make sure that yes, we do have permission to actually run that credit card. They record that. We're gonna get that verbally, and then we'll send them out the actual contract. And so that in and of itself is the set process, the close process, and both scripts. Now, Kimberly and Troy, doing this a couple of months now, and Kimberly and Troy, you guys have had a lot of success doing this for a couple of months. You guys have seen some great numbers, especially coming from just 2 people in the mini call center. Very impressive. What questions, what concerns, what things are you guys running into? Again, you guys were, we went through this pretty quickly, and you guys were definitely laydowns, okay? What types of questions are you guys running into?
I need a couple days to think about this, or well, I don't have the money right now, I'll have it in a couple days, but we all know what that means, right?
What does that, Kimberly, what does that mean?
That means they're really not interested, you don't have them sold.
And why wouldn't I have them sold here?
Because you didn't go through the hot buttons enough maybe, or get
It-
enough emotion. You didn't spend enough time on the first paragraph.
Again, I'm going to go back to that time and time again, that if I spend my time here at the beginning of the close script, and every single person that I talk to, that if I build that value, if I tie that back in to my coach, to my expert, that I don't run into that at the end. They know and understand that it's something. Now, it is possible that somebody went through the whole process and they just lied to you. They really didn't have the money or whatever it is. And obviously, occasionally that does happen. But if I spend the time here, if I do it right, if I pull those hot buttons out of them, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 of your deals are going to close. They just are, especially with the way that these leads are coming in that Russell has set up. You've got good qualified leads, great prospects, and going through the script with this process is going to make all the difference in the world for you. When somebody tells me at the end of it, okay, that I need a couple of days, okay, and that happens. People tell you that oh my goodness, it's $8,000. I'm going to have to spend that. Okay, there might be a little bit of a sticker shock again. If I spent the time here, okay, I don't run into that. But if I do, very, very easy to simply say, hey, Kimberly, I'm fine to give you a couple of days. No problem at all. Let me ask you this though, Kimberly. Gosh, it's Monday. If I called you back on Wednesday, what's going to be different in your situation? Kimberly, right now, you want to build and grow a business, right? Mm-hmm. Do you think on Wednesday you'll want to too?
Yeah, I think I need to sleep on it, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. And Kimberly, I'm happy to give you till tomorrow to sleep on it. But Kimberly, I kind of go back to that same question. How long have you wanted to build and grow a successful online business for? How long have you been thinking about this?
A long time.
Okay. How much money have you made?
Like I said, $200.
Okay, couple $100. Okay. And Kimberly, tomorrow when you wake up, are you still going to want to build and grow a successful business?
Yeah.
Okay. Kimberly, do you think working with Russell Brunson can help you to do that?
Yes.
Okay. Kimberly, what credit card do you want to put that on?
Gotcha.
Don't be afraid to ask for that. Yes, I want to. So often that I've heard so many people that, yes, I know Russell Brunson can help me to build and grow a successful business. Okay. And they don't ask for that. Kimberly, what credit card do you want? Oh, my Visa card, you're right. Okay. Oh, my Discover card, let me go get it.
Is it okay to get a down payment?
Sure. I think getting some money is better. If somebody's offering me money to take money, okay, absolutely. Without question, I'll take a down payment. But whatever I can do, the only reason though that I take a down payment is if there was extenuating circumstances as to why. Let's say that I had somebody who, I'm doing an $8,000 sale with them, and they've got $3,000 available on a credit card and $5,000 in a CD, and it's 6 o'clock at night, and they can't go down to their bank and get the CD out. Okay,
Yeah, and we have that.
and that happens. Well, do I let them off the phone without getting the $3,000 on the credit card? Not a chance.
And he's good at that.
Yeah, if I've got somebody who's saying, hey, I need to do X, Y, Z, and obviously there are always there's situations, circumstances that people run into. That happens, of course. Okay, but if I take $3,000 down, how much more secure is that prospect than the prospect that I take zero from? Mm-hmm. He's got 3,000 reasons to call me up the next morning and talk to me. He's got 3,000 reasons to go down to the bank and get his CD out or whatever it is. There are obviously, and you have to be understanding and compassionate, but at the same token, you can't be afraid to say, Kimberly, you know this is going to work. What credit card do you want to put this on? You've told me that you know it's going to work. Why do I need to convince you anymore?
Right.
Okay. How long have you been thinking about it?
A long time.
A long time. And you haven't made the money you want to make, have you?
No.
Okay. Well, Kimberly, how much money are you going to make by waiting till tomorrow?
Guess my way doesn't work, huh?
It's not, well, Kimberly, it's not working, is it?
No.
So what do we need to do?
Take the next step, make a change.
Got to make some changes, don't we? Okay, Kimberly, what credit card do you want to put that on?
My husband's.
My husband's. Awesome. Okay. Well, that's the set and the close script. Any other questions? Anything else you guys are
The set's
experiencing?
the most difficult, obviously. We went through that thoroughly. I think that's where, for me, the set's more difficult than the close. And it used to be the close I was so scared of.
Well, and they're the same thing. They're so similar as far as the way that they're set up, the process, the structure. You're basically, the closer is basically repeating what's said in the set. There's not a lot of difference. We time down, we build a little bit more emotion, maybe dig in a little bit deeper into pain and goals and what they want to do and what they want to accomplish. But the process and the ideas behind it are exactly the same.
I got a comment about it, is that what was interesting is Kimberly and I had been working like our leads prior to you showing up. Mm-hmm. You know, we're likable people, so you know it was still a lot of work for very minimal results. And after we went through the scripting with you, it was awesome. Literally that next Saturday.
The next morning, because he trained us on a Friday, and that Saturday morning we did what, 36,000?
36 grand the next day, and literally Kimberly read it line by line by line by line by line. And she said, just read it line by line. So I read it line by line, and it was a done deal. So the cool thing about it is the psychology of it works, even when I didn't understand exactly why it was written this way. And you were very clear. It's like, just do it. And the fun thing is, if you do focus focus your time on the beginning paragraph of the set script, the rest takes care of itself.
So, sales are this sale is so simple. Sales are so simple when you just take the time in the beginning to set things up right. Because we have a product that we know and we understand that it works. It works well. We can believe in that. We know that we're helping people. We know that we're taking care of them. So we can show that compassion, that empathy to people. And then I just sit down and I just have a conversation with them. What are you doing? Where are you at? How is your life going to change? Why do you want to change your life? Okay. All of a sudden, I'm just carrying on this conversation with people, and it's just people helping out people is really what it boils down to. It really is. It's just a matter of, in the beginning, taking these guys and saying where you're at, you're frustrated, you know, and Troy's example of, I've been working on this since 2008. My kids go to bed at 9 o'clock. And I'm up till 2 o'clock in the morning trying to figure something out. I've spent hundreds, thousands of dollars on books and video courses and cassettes, and I've gone to seminars. That's not unusual. That's a very common thing that we hear from people in this industry. And they're frustrated. They're pulling their hair out. And we talk about what their hopes, their goals, their dreams are. It's very, very simple. We help them to bridge that gap. It makes all the difference in the world. And it really is just by spending that time. If the setter does it initially in the beginning and your closer does it initially in the beginning, the close at the end, the big question, at the very end, do you want to put that on one card or two cards? How does your name appear on that Visa card? Okay. Do you have a middle initial on that Visa card? Go ahead and get it out and just double check and make sure you don't have a middle initial on there. That becomes very, very easy for them to put $7,995 on their credit card, $4,995, because they understand that we're going to help them to get to where they want to be. Any other questions?
No.
Go sell, guys. Go sell, go make money.